At Tactical Advantage, it's literally about to start this game. We just went over what models we have and what they can do. And right now I'm going to show you what we have, what will be put on the table. Starting with me first, I have my Cultist. I got 2 units there. And then I got 2 units of Chaos Space Marines with my Chaos Lord. And then I have, I'm using them as Possessed. They are a mishmash model. And then I have the Hellbrute. And then the Lord of Skulls. And then I have the Demon Prince that can be summoned for my Chaos Lord. And then I have my Bloodthirster, which can be summoned from the axe that my Chaos Lord will be using. And then I have my Bloodletters, which I'm going to be summoning when I can get the points for it on the battlefield. So I got to kill or be killed to bring them out.
You want to do this?
And if you want to introduce your models, go for it.
This Ginger right here is Crumb Dragon Gaze, my Warlord, in his legendary Great Pack, the Drake Slayers. This is a unit of Great Hunters he's with and a Rhino. Nothing special there. This is a unit of Blood Claws, prettily painted, best I can do, with a Priest from the Weirdstone Brotherhood, which I'll get to in a moment. These guys have Rage. They get 4 attacks on the charge. Also in a Rhino. I've got 2 units of Long Fangs. 1 unit with a Las Cannon Heavy Bolter, 3 ancillary Long Fangs, and a Wolf Guard with a
Alright, round 2.
Another unit of Long Fangs, Heavy Bolter, Las Cannon Missile Launcher, ancillary Long Fang with a Ancient, which is a Sergeant. Another unit of not Blood Claws, Great Hunters with a Wolf Guard with a Power Weapon and a Drop Pod. 10 Blood Claws with another Wolf Guard with a Power Fist and Storm Bolter. Another member of the Wormstorm Brotherhood member joined with him. He has Biomancy. This one, Biomancy. This one has Tempestus, which is the Space Wolf psychic powers. The Drake Slayers Terminator Squad, which is 2 with Thunderhammer and Storm Shield, 2 with Wolf Claws, and 1 with an Assault Cannon and Power Fist. These guys will be in the Storm Wolf, and the whole of the army, except, well, the whole of the army gets counterattack, which means if he's in close combat, at the end of, I'll start over. At the end of Tilly's turn, if he's in close combat, my units can charge his units as long as they're engaged in hand-to-hand combat. The Weirdstone Brotherhood have access to a psychic power, which is Strength 7, no armor penetration, 2d6 for each member of the Weirdstone Brotherhood on the table. They get an extra d6 and a shock. So every time I roll 6 to hit, it actually counts as 3 hits. So it would be maximum 3d6, with 6 is causing 3 hits. And everything in the Legendary Great Pack has Monster Hunter, which allows me to reroll wounds on monstrous creatures, which would count for Bloodthirster, Demon Prince. Doesn't do anything against the Lord of Skulls because it's a super heavy walker. Stubborn, which makes my leadership immutable. Whatever it is, it stands. That doesn't go up and down because of combat resolution. They get to, if 1 unit from this detachment makes it into close combat, every single unit charging that turn can reroll failed charges, and everything gets Furious Charge, which is +1 strength on the turn they charged. So this is pretty much a good guy corn army. Start up, we are deploying via Dawn of War, and we're going to be playing Emperor's Will, which puts a objective marker into each of our deployment zones. Objective markers at the end of the game are worth 3 points each. We have Slay the Warlord, First Blood, Linebreaker, as usual, Night Fighting Reserves, Mysterious Objectives. And here's the table setup. Long Fangs back in the woods, Rhinos off to my left. We've got Chaos Space Marines, Cultists, Possessed, Cultists, and more Chaos Space Marines. You want to roll a d6 for Night Fight? No night fight, so we're going to do this in the daytime. Alright, we'll see how it goes in turn 1. Actually, who's going first? I'm going to see if I can steal the init.
Yeah.
Get some of my blue dice. And on a 6, I steal the init. 4, I did not. You don't have to roll.
Whatever.
So I don't steal initiative, and Tilly and the Chaos Demons will get the first turn.
Woohoo!
Turn 1, everyone moved up. This group of Chaos Warriors shot at this unit of Long Fangs. 2 hits, no wounds. Space Wolf turn 1. Spath Wolves. Space Wolves turn 1. Drop pod came in. Grey Hunters deployed. Rhinos ran up. The Rune Priest in this Rhino cast Iron Arm on himself. His 2 powers are Iron Arm and Enfeeble, along with the Primus power of Smite. Then this unit, and this unit, and that unit took care of that unit there. Completely gone. He gets blood points for it, but I get first blood. And using split fire from this unit, heavy bolter killing the last guy. Last cannon and bolters killed 2 more. So now we're on to Chaos turn 2. Now stuff should start coming to the table. And I can shoot bigger things, I guess. Maybe. The blood points he garnered from the cultist being slaughtered. He summoned a unit of bloodletters. The Hellbrute came in from reserve. The Lord of Skulls did not. The possessed and the cultists couldn't get enough gumption to get to the hand-to-hand area of these Grey Hunters. Lost 1 or 2 to shooting, but so far nothing's really turned about. So Space Wolf turn 2 coming up. Space Wolf turn 2. Crom and his guys came in. The Storm Wolf came in. Terminators came in. Also, the Lord of Skulls just came in this turn. Did some shooting, Psychic Phase. Tore up the Possessed, but the Long Fangs successfully dinged up and destroyed the Hellbrute. Now it's on to the big stuff, as big guy over here is going to do some damage. Also spent a whole shooting phase shooting at his Chaos Lord, which amounted to only 1 Chaos dude getting in the way and getting killed for him. So it's on to Chaos turn 3. So end of Chaos Marine, Chaos turn 3. Big Skull dude came in, heavy Mega Flamered. Some Space Wolves, didn't kill any Terminators, did get some Grey Hunters. Possessed charged the Grey Hunters from the drop pod, which initiated a counter charge via the Wolf Claw Strike Force with the Blood Claws and the Rune Priest, which ended up smiting all of the Possessed. The Possessed got killed. The unit of Cultists charged the Terminators, which were promptly smashed, and now the Chaos Tilly has 8 blood points, is going to bring the Bloodthirster in next turn, but the Space Wolves are going to try to do some damage this turn coming up by laying a lot of hurt on that Lord of Skulls. Turn 3 Space Wolves. Turn 3, the Chaos Lord was challenged by Crom, Drakeslayer. He did a wound to Crom, and Crom promptly chopped his head off, which sprung the Bloodthirster. The Wolfguard, the Drakeslayers, gallantly charged the Lord of Skulls. Lord of Skulls threw 5 attacks, hit 3 times, then threw 2 ones, wounded and killed the last of the Wolfclaw Terminators, but the Thunderhammers and Power Fist did their job and inflicted 6 whole points of damage to him. Rune Priest is hanging out, chilling, cold. Blood Claws are chasing the last of the Chaos Marines, and the Grey Hunters over here wipe the floor with the Bloodletters. So it is now Chaos turn 4, and I expect to see a Demon Prince. record that. Lord of Skulls cleaned up the Wolfguard Terminators, who did no wounds to them. He managed to do a bunch of wounds all throughout the unit, and no saves were made. Crom wiped up the unit of Chaos Marines and backed up 4 inches. The Bloodthirster took his whip and shot at this Long Fang right here, who ducked behind a tree and made his cover save. Nothing over here really happened. The last Chaos Marine took up and he hauled ass 12 inches off the table edge, and even the Bloodletters came in. The Bloodthirster is now gliding, so he is assaultable. And into the Space Wolf turn 4. The shooting phase went terribly wrong. Nothing could hurt the Lord of Skulls. 1 Herald Point was put on it, couldn't finish the job. 4 shots from there, 2 shots from there, 2 shots from there, nothing. Blood Claws gallantly charge it, lose 5 of their number, and the Wolfguard with the Power Fist lands the final 6 and it explodes by randomly rolling backwards 8 inches and nowhere near anyone it could hurt, and now it's gone. So I believe this is a roll to see if the game ends, because it's random game length. So you want to roll that, and on 1 or 2 the game ends. Game goes on for 1 more turn. Alright, so top of 5. Here we go. Chaos turn 5. The Bloodthirster again attempt to whip the Long Fangs, and he hit and promptly rolled a 1 to wound. The Bloodletters charged the Lone Rune Priest, which initiated a counterattack, countercharge by the Blood Claws, which wiped them out. And what the Bloodthirster is, bolter fire. After suffering a total of 5 wounds from his own axe that summoned him, the Bloodthirster with 1 wound left charged into the Long Fangs, and bolter fire got the last wound on him, and he died to overloss, thus leaving the only thing on the table for Space Wolf's turn 5 is that unit of Bloodletters. So this is probably going to wrap it up right here. What ends up happening is, in the final turn, the noose closes around the Bloodletters. The Rune Priest, which was right there, threw 6 dice to cast Eye of the Storm, rolled 3 6s, which ended up killing him with Perils of the Warp. The power does go off, so he threw 3d6 worth of Strength 7 8 shock hits till he tried to dispel him. He rolled a 6, a 6, and a 5. So close.
Yep.
I rolled my 3d6, and I got 6 and 6 and 5, which was 17, which after I rolled a hit amounted to 23 hits, and of all of them being strength 7, and these guys being only toughness 3, not getting feeling of pain this turn, and with them killing around 12 out of the 8 that he has on the table, which removes Chaos on the table, giving Space Wolves the victory, if not by removing them from the table, but by 3 points for the objective, 1 point for Warlord, 1 point for First Blood, and Linebreaker. So it was a 6-0 game. Don't let that score derail you, because I was never in a point where I thought I got this game, especially after the Lord of Skulls just kept bouncing everything I had off of them. It was only 1 or 2 good turns of hitting them that allowed me to take so little damage. So I'm going to compile this stuff and make a big old battle report. Thanks for watching. This is Tilly and Chris.
Woohoo!
Chris, Tilly, and Chris. This is confusing
Tilly,
from Tactical Advantage. Bye!